High cost of living continues to be a headache for many Kenyans 6 months into President William Ruto's regime. In a report released by Tifa Research, 37% of people in the country have pointed out at economic hardships as a key failure in Ruto's administration. The report, which lauded Interior Cabinet Secretary as the top-performing CS, highlighted other key issues that Kenyans want addressed, among them job creation and the education sector. Gladys Masharia with the details.
What do you thought of it?
Economical issues have topped the list of challenges that Kenyans are currently going through. Research firm Tifa on Wednesday morning released a report on the state of the nation, where Kenyans have decried high cost of living occasioned by the prolonged drought in the country.
48% said the cost of living is the main problem facing people where they live.
A further analysis revealed that high cost of living, hunger, drought and joblessness as the root cause of economic uproar. Cost of living is reported as most challenging in South Rift, Western and Coast, while hunger and drought in the Northern and Lower Eastern. On the other hand, joblessness received most mentions in Central Rift, Lower Eastern and Nairobi.
The identification of cost of living as the most challenging problem facing people in the area where our respondents live was highest in South Rift, in Western and in Coast. 62%, 61% and 58%. Hunger and drought was the most mentioned, or got its most mentions in Northern Kenya and in Lower Eastern, which is basically Ukambani.
In the household frequency of sleeping hungry, nearly 1 in 5 Kenyans, 17%, and other household members always or often sleep hungry. More Azimio supporters than Kenya Kwanza supporters indicate their probability of sleeping hungry at 20% and 14% respectively.
Population as a whole, 17% said either always or very often that at least somebody in the house analalanja. That supporters of Azimio are slightly more affected by this condition of sleeping hungry than our supporters of Kenya Kwanza.
In terms of their priorities over the remainder of President Ruto's current term, many Kenyans across the political divide call for a reduction in the cost of living, though job creation and addressing issues in educational systems also received considerable mentions.
I really like the government to address in the remainder of its term, that is during the next 5 years. So the figures add up to way more than 100% because they were given a chance to mention 3 different issues or priorities. And you can see right at the top again reflecting the problems that they identified, reducing the cost of living overwhelmingly mentioned. And again, it's mentioned by people across the political divide as captured in these coalitions, or even those who don't identify with any coalition, just over 70%. No political difference there whatsoever. The next mention, remember people could give 3, was job creation. Again, hardly any difference across the political divide, around 50% for both coalitions and overall. Then comes dealing with problems in the education system, which are basically 2 that were mentioned. The adoption, the integration of the competence-based curriculum and the junior secondaries, and then other issues.
Gladys Masharia, Look Up TV.